In this short video, we want to talk about lingering odor, some of the ways we may be able to visualize it so we can better appreciate what our dogs are experiencing when they're tackling their searches. So a good place to start is, what is lingering odor? Let's make sure we define this so we're all on the same page. So lingering odor is when we have set a hide within a space. And let's say we ran that search, the dog successfully found that hide, and then we remove that hide and put it somewhere else. The first location the hide was set in, there's still going to be odor molecules in the air in that location. That is what we're calling lingering odor. So if your dog were to come back up into that search area, let's say to do their second search, they're still going to be encountering those odor molecules in the area, even though the hide is no longer there. Saying, oh, okay, so that's the same thing as residual odor, right? And the answer is no. Residual odor is entirely different. Residual odor is when there's actual odor transfer or real odor contamination within the space itself. So to try to help this make a little bit more sense, let's think about bacon. So if we were to be cooking bacon, there's going to be bacon within our frying pan. And as we're cooking the bacon, it's going to be spitting. It's going to be spitting oil all over our stovetop, on our counter, on our backsplash, and maybe onto our floor. But as it's cooking, there's also all the aroma of bacon. It's very powerful. We can probably smell it all throughout the house. So we can use this as a good metaphor for the difference between lingering odor and residual odor. As we are sitting maybe in a completely opposite side of the house, we can smell the aroma of bacon cooking. It's not as though you and I can then go chomping around in the air to eat that. That's not true. But we can absolutely smell it. That is what lingering odor can represent. There are bacon molecule smells inside the air that we can smell. But if, let's say, your dog were to come into the kitchen after you have completely finished cooking all of your bacon, you've cleaned up your pan, you've tried to clean everything up with all the spatter as much as you could, but maybe there was a little spot on the floor that you missed, where some of that bacon grease had flew out of the frying pan and hit onto the floor, and your dog is now licking up that bacon grease, that's residual odor. That is absolutely bacon. So this is the way that we can better conceptualize the difference between lingering odor and actual residual odor. Lingering odor is just the odor molecules that are left within the air in the space where a hide may have been. But residual odor is actual odor transfer that was transferred within the space. It's contaminating that actual space. So for all intents and purposes, that is really source. So this is why it's so important for us to really grasp the difference between these two concepts. Because residual odor is a problem. Residual odor is something we absolutely should avoid at all costs because it's not very fair to the dog. So if we aren't practicing good odor handling techniques, where potentially as we're loading our hides, our metal tins, our tubes, our straws as an example, or if we were to do something even worse and to set naked cotton swabs out within the environment, please do not do that. But if we were, then we are absolutely contaminating our search areas. We're transferring actual oil, birch, anise, or clove, or whatever it is we're using, we're transferring that directly within the environment. And that is the best source possible. But we can't see it as handlers or trainers. So the dog is like, look, I found the best source there ever was to find. And we're like, no, you didn't. Move along. And they're like, I don't understand. I thought you wanted me to find birch. This is birch. This is the best birch ever. So we have to be very, very careful to keep this in mind. This is absolutely a possibility. And the way to avoiding that is making certain that we are practicing very good odor preparation and handling techniques, that we're storing our odor in a good way, that we aren't maybe storing our adhesives within our odor kit, where potentially it's soaking in all of that odor and then transferring odor all over our spaces. That's not good either. We want to be really careful with how we're doing these things. But that being said, lingering odor is an entirely different situation. Lingering odor is where, again, we've set a hide somewhere, and the dog comes up, they successfully find it, and now we've put the dog back up inside of their staging area, and we've moved that hide to a new location. This is a concept that we definitely want to weave into our training. We want our dogs to see the difference between, yes, there's odor molecules in the air as opposed to source. So this is something we should absolutely have presented within our training We want our dog to know that just because there's odor molecules in the area or in the air, that's what I'm looking for, because it's not. I want them to tell me where the odor is coming from, not just potentially where odor is traveling to. So to try to help this make a little bit more sense as far as what it is that our dogs may be experiencing when they are encountering lingering odor, I wanted to share this quick little video with you. This video is demonstrating what it can look like once we've set an inaccessible hide inside of a closed entertainment center cabinet, and we have now removed that inaccessible hide. So for our purposes, this was dry ice, and the fog that is emanating from the dry ice is supposed to represent not a one-to-one, but give us a visual representation of what odor can be doing. And this video started immediately after that dry ice was removed. It wasn't planned, but it was like, oh, look at all the fog. So let's take a look at that video. For many of us, when our dogs encounter lingering odor, we're oftentimes trying to shoo them off. We may have set a hide and then moved it, and the dog returns to where the hide was previously set. We're like, no, there's nothing there, move along. So what I'm trying to show here is what our dogs may actually be experiencing when it comes to odor. So this is an entertainment center cabinet, and what we're seeing are the remnants of the dry ice fog, because we did have, for one of our previous videos, we showed that we had dry ice within this cabinet. We had this door closed, and then we got to see all the different ways that the fog was able to interact with this cabinet, how it was able to escape, wrap around this wall, and so on and so forth. But this still shot is quite literally like a few seconds after that dry ice had been removed. And look at all of this smoke that's still in here. So if I were to have placed an inaccessible hide inside of this cabinet, and then I moved it, and then I asked my dog to search again, so where I've moved the hide to another location, this is what the dog is experiencing. So we can see just how much of that fog, see how it's all pouring out still? This is what our dogs are experiencing when we have actually moved a hide. It takes a while for that odor to dissipate. And I think that this is an important thing for us to keep in mind, is that this amount of, again, fog is not a one-to-one correlation to our odor by any means, but this can be a really good visual to show this is what our dogs are seeing. They're still encountering plenty of odor molecules when we have set a hide and then moved it. So if our dogs were to return to this cabinet, particularly if we had this door closed, and they would go, oh, I'm still smelling stuff. We may want to open that door and then go, oh, I'm still smelling, but there's not actually source there anymore. And then allow them to make the decision to move along. That could be a really helpful exercise for us to do inside of our training. And I think that these visualization exercises can help us better appreciate what our dogs are actually encountering, what they're coping with. So upon watching that video, I hope we can all ask ourselves, why is it that we're rushing our dogs when they are encountering lingering odor? That's a lot of odor information for our dogs to try to process, and it's important for them to figure out, is this actually source or not? Is this just simply odor that was left behind because a hide happened to be moved? And that's important for the dog to figure out on their own timetable. We shouldn't just simply be moving them along. We absolutely shouldn't be getting frustrated with them. It makes a lot of sense. And that's why I think that visualization video using the dry ice really helped. All that fog in there, just imagine if that was all odor. That's a lot of stuff for the dog to have to work through. It may take them a couple of seconds, maybe even take them many seconds. But that's okay. It's better to allow them to do that than to rush them on, like, no, there's no hide there. Allow our dogs to actually take in that information and then move along on their own. So I hope you found this video helpful. Definitely check out everything that we offer at Scentwork University. We have a very large library of stuff, all centered around Scentwork. So that includes our online courses, webinars, seminars, virtual events, and ebooks, our regularly updated blog, the All About Scentwork podcast, free live streams, free training tips, and our newly launched Scentwork U community. If there's a particular topic that you're interested in, always feel free to reach out. We want to make certain that we're offering what you all are interested in. But thank you so much for watching. Happy training. We look forward to seeing you soon.